Hey guys, and welcome back to Omnifactory. On to episode number 25 now. Off camera, I've done a fair bit of work after the kind of traffic accident of a episode that we had last one, losing a fair bit of materials in this bad boy. I have made a temporary setup, and I've done the actual Einsteinium quest. So we've got it set up with a ZPM energy input, cables, ZPM CEF, some Enderium energy conduits, which it does work. What we technically do, and you can actually run it as much as possible. You get a CEU, you put the ZPM in, and it powers everything through. It does work. As I say, it's a very temporary setup, but it does work for now. A few bits in the line, but yeah, it allowed me to get through with fairly short on power. I've upgraded our kind of ore processing, as well as a few other little bits here and there. All of our machinery is now on EV, so we're running EV machinery across the main kind of bulk of our kind of processing. Still got some HV stuff lying around, and kind of the fluid automation is all still HV as well. Didn't see any real point in upgrading that. In terms of here though, so is it this one? Yeah, Nakoda alloy. We have an export bus with sustain boosted diesel. So we now have Draconium on full autocraft. If we jump kind of back over here, there's a few different machinery, that one as well, so I'll get into that. That's basically indium dust autocrafting. There's a few little bits there. This here is the kind of automation line for sustain boosted diesel alongside luminescence. So it got to a stage where it was needed, so we have actually got a full 1k cell's worth of this cetane boosted diesel. Still don't see any reason to use it as fuel just yet. It's mainly just being used to craft draconium. A few other little bits in here, so there's a few different cells, and also made myself a few of these. So resonant portable tanks with holding 4 hold 37, I was about to say. It holds 3.75 million millibuckets, or 3,750 buckets each. Basically it got to a stage where I was kind of coming back here, and it's just easier to literally just go over to here, fill the tank up with kind of whatever leftover fuel, put it in there. If it's able to go in, it will automatically go in. I made a chicken spawner. I needed feathers. That's literally the only reason that's there. A few little bits here, so we now have 8 electrolyzers constantly getting us oxygen and hydrogen into the system. We've got quartz. This, I'll be honest, this is a right mess down here, but we've got nether quartz on autocraft as well. That's being done in these 4 electrolyzers here. So we've got glass exporting, and then we've got this producing as glass. So we've got glass and nether quartz on full autocraft. In terms of other stuff, you might be seeing a few little bits there. Sneak peek. Yeah, so this is our indium setup. So this is just getting rid of the lead zinc solution. What we have is we have an export bus constantly keeping 1 stack of aluminium dust in here, going into there. that's technically using, I'm processing redstone at the moment. Found I needed a fair bit of redstone, so yeah, processing that through. That's got the patterns for crushed galena and crushed sphalerite, and this is the purified versions. And then the way it works is I have the actual tiny pile of indium dust set up is in a recipe where it will put one of each of the purified versions straight into here with the sulfuric acid. So if we have a look at the indium recipe, the way it works is you need the 8 buckets of indium concentrate and 4 aluminium dust per kind of tiny pile. Now the indium concentrate is you get one, basically you get one tiny pile for one of each of these. As you can see, you get 8 buckets worth for 4 buckets. So sulfuric acid is something that we've got on autocraft, so we've got no problems there. And if we jump back over here, so in here what we have a fluid interface. Now the fluid interface itself, if I can somehow get into it, what we've got is that will keep in stock any indium concentrate, and because we're basically using the concentrate up as soon as it comes in, it will go from that one down there into the ME system, or into the AE system, whatever you want to call it. It will get pulled out and put into here, and then it will just go straight into the drawer. So we've got a fair bit, got thousands stocked up. Yeah, we've got a ton of charcoal as well. 651,000. So yeah, changed one recipe, so we're now producing because we're basically producing so much charcoal, I decided, yeah, it's definitely worth getting that one set up on there. At the moment we're literally just exporting all of our redstone in there as well, so that's basically happening on that. Yeah, so it's basically going straight into the applied logistics system, AE system. We've got this guy exporting purified version, so we're skipping the thermal centrifuge because I think, if I've done the math right, it works out better for getting rare earth from this. So rare earth you get from pulverizing purified redstone, 14% chance, but you also get some more from the end of it as well. I don't know. That was my way of doing it anyway. And yeah, so if we have a look at the quests as well, there was a few things that we've done. So we've finally done our Dark Solarium. I made enough to get the quest done, and that was it. Tritium, deuterium is hydrogen, so wasn't too much of a trouble. It just took a little bit of time to get it done. Dark Solarium again is just Solarium and Dark Steel. Everything else is fine. 8,600 Kelvin. We've done HSS ingots. Again, not any issues. Bit of osmium, bit of iridium, and the HSSG version creates 9, so we got that quest done. Crystal matrix ingots are fairly expensive. The expensive part is this, because it takes, I think that's 40, it works out at 40 diamonds per each diamond lattice, plus the exquisite diamonds, which I get, I do through that recipe there. So we've got a few other ores here and there. Took a bit of time, and if I'm honest, that's why we now have down here, I decided to upgrade our storage on some of our kind of more useful, well, if I'm honest, I just put an extra thing into these two. That was it. So yeah, that's that side, that's all done. I made enough osmium and I made enough einsteinium as well, so we are getting well underway. We've got enough to basically, at this stage, if I wanted to, I could quite easily make this, is basically what this is saying, because I've made enough to make this, which is just one of these recipes. I could probably make one of those now, if I'm honest, because this isn't hard either. Do I have any fluxed electrum? No, okay. Is that part of the quest? Surprisingly not. I think we've got everything but the fluxed electrum. But again, that's absolutely not a problem. Electrum dust, mana dust, signalum, lumium. Yeah, no issues there at all. That is then used to make the omnium, or motive omnium, whatever you want to say. And that's just the other ores, so yeah. In theory, we could get this. Now, realistically, we aren't massively far away from that, because we can get the empowered void. We can get this Nequadria. Oh no, we can't get this yet. Not quite yet, at least. We'll be working our way to getting that in itself enriched. Yeah, so we can't quite get to that stage yet, but we aren't far off. Now, because we've managed to get our Dark Solarium, I did process it through. We have completed the Dark Solarium jetplate. So we've got that. What I will say is I crafted this, put it into my inventory, and the actual quest itself didn't complete. I thought it was a little bit of an issue, but the problem I have was, and there's also a few things in here that I do want to get into, because I've got the wireless charger and the battery, the Ender IO, the thermal battery, it automatically put charge into the jet plate, and because of that, it didn't actually register. So what I basically had to do was fly around for a while using the jet plate. It took me about 20 minutes worth of flying. Literally just flying around doing absolutely nothing, just to get rid of the extra power, and it worked straight away from there. So absolutely fine. And what that means is we have completed mid-game fully. We have fully completed mid-game, got everything through. We've got the majority of this stuff on autocraft as well, which is amazing. So we can fully work on the late game now. So this is what we'll be getting into this episode. I want to get into the fusion reactor and work towards europium. So europium is neodymium, neodymium and hydrogen. So shouldn't have any issues, and that's one of the reasons that I am processing a fair amount of redstone for the rare earth. So if we have a look at rare earth, you centrifuge that down to get a decent amount of neodymium. If we have a look as well, so rare earth, we have a metric ton of rare earth, and it's constantly going up. So yeah, plenty of neodymium. I've actually already melted down 2 stacks worth, so I do kind of want to see how this is going to work, because I'm not entirely sure, if I'm honest. It's going to be a bit of a on-camera experiment, I guess you want to say. Not really looked it up. I've made everything that we need. This is according to the quest book, the things that are needed to actually get the get the fusion setup made. I've made a nice room here, so this is actually in our old mine. Yeah, so got a little box in the middle of nowhere, and the plan of this one is this right here. That's just some room for wiring if needed. This right here is going to be kind of a case of we're going to be stacking our fusion reactors on top of each other. unless it causes any issues. As I say, bit of an experiment when it comes to the fusion reactors, but there are three. There's a Mark 1, 2, Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3. So we'll have to see kind of how it all progresses. The actual multi-block structures, this is how it's kind of set up. It's a little bit of an annoying, it doesn't, I can't zoom out or anything, but yeah, you can pretty much see how it's set up. It's a ring all set up. That's the Mark 3, right? But we'll be setting up the Mark 1 just for now, and we will be using this recipe. So in terms of what I'm seeing, and this might be completely wrong, as I say, I haven't looked into this at all. I'm going into this pretty much blind. But the way that I see it is that you need to pump essentially 1.5 million EU in to the machine to start the fusion reaction, and then for every 16 millibuckets of neodymium and 48 millibuckets of hydrogen, you will produce essentially just a little bit over the amount of energy you used to start it. So 1.57 million EU at 24,500 EU per tick. Lasts 3.2 seconds. That's my take on kind of this page here. I have done the math on it, so 24,576 EU per tick at 3.2 seconds does equal that. So I think that's how it works, and that's how it kind of works throughout these fuels. So in theory, I'm gonna be doing a massive test on this side anyway. So let's get this all up and running. As well as that, what I did find, I think I might have mentioned it last episode. I wasn't sure why this had done this. I didn't realise, but if you get like a, I don't know, get a terracotta block and an elevator, should have got a couple of spare ones. If you put the elevator down, you can just right click. I had absolutely no idea that was a thing, but I am really glad that I found out. Just a bit of a cheeky one if you were looking. One thing that I do want to say as well, we have superconducting wires on full autocraft. So the only thing that we might be missing on this one is blitz rods, or at least kind of the base resource rods. So blaze rods, blitz rods, blizz rods, and that's it. That's the only thing that we're missing. Everything else fully auto-grafting. Absolutely amazing. It takes a bit of time, don't get me wrong. And the way that I've got this set up, if we jump back here to the mess that's back here, we've got a advanced fluid extractor, so it's literally just a HV machine. We've got some item filters, so whitelisting nether stars and cryothium dust, and this one is blacklisting the same stuff, so it doesn't change anything around, and that will automatically pump it straight into there. So very simple, nice and easy, if you were wondering on that side. So let's kind of have a look at this guy then. So Fusion Reactor Computer Mark 1. Let's have a look at the kind of multi-block structure. So let me shift and hold it. Here we go. So let's try and find the center, I guess. This guy here. Okay. Really awkward, I know. You're gonna have to bear with me a bit. So we've got LUV machine casings. Let's level 1, level 2. So the superconducting coil blocks go inside of it, that's fine. So this is going to be the floor level, that's how we're going to work it. So we have fluid input hatches on the sides, and then it goes 2, 1, 2. Okay. Let's see if we can work this one then. So LUV machines and fluid inputs, was it? Hold on, I've already forgotten. Inputs. Let's have a look. So fusion reactor mod 1 is large multiple structure used for blah 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 blah. Doesn't specifically say. Ah, right. Fluid outputs go along the inner ring. Okay, that's easily done. Energy inputs there. Fluid outputs. Is it the same on this? I'm guessing. Energy inputs. Fluid outputs. Okay. Let's see how it works out then. So this block right here should be the center of this room. How wide is this thing? So level 1. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away from the middle. So that's on the 7th block out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is going to be the start. And this here, let's have a look again. So that'll be LUV machine holes. So bang. 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably best not doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That's going to be kind of the blueprint, I guess, and then we'll have this circle. So either side of those guys we have some fluid input hatches, like so. We'll soon figure out if I've kind of got the spacing messed up, because then it should go 1, 2, 2. I think I might have done it one too many. I think that already proves it. I think I need to bring them in one, if I'm right. Let's have a quick look. So level 1. Yeah, so these all need to be brought in one. That's fine. So it's machine hole, hole. Go pick all of these guys back. Let's try and not do what I did with the large microverse projectile. Let's actually get this one set up right. Yeah, this one picks up. That, then it should go like that. Perfect. Same on here. Okay, so then what we'll do is on top of each of these should go some of the conductors. Let me put on these guys first. Perfect. So that's the inside done. Then I think it should be a case of mirroring that on the top as well. Right. Let's have a look. Quick look. Inputs, outputs there. Yep. So should be a case of going like this. Fill the gaps in. One thing that I will say is a lot of the multi-block structures in this mod pack look pretty much spot on. I enjoy the kind of industrial feel of it, that's for sure. Okay, so see how the edges go. So that's fine. So should go like this, I think. Then we need to work out, I want this one here to be the controller, so that's where the controller will eventually go. That's fine. We have these guys left. So what happens on the inside ring? Let's have a quick look. So go second level, pull it up, so that's better. So it's every other block, and they're all fluid outputs except for those. Okay, so every other, wait, yeah, except for the joint corner parts, that's fine. There we go. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so I think that's right. And then fluid outputs here, 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 like that. I think they go here as well. Okay, so that's the fluid outputs done. We should just leave. Okay, what's happened here? How many have we got left? So 1, 2, so 8 around that side. 1, 2, 16. Okay, so my guess is that it's asking us to replace the energy inputs with that, so that's fine. Let's put like that, like that. There we go. Now, if I've done this right, this should multi-block. Oh, wait, hold on. Main part. Invalid structure. Ah. Okay. Yeah. Where have I gone wrong? Energy input hatch LUV 16 times. Okay. What happened to all of my extra LUVs? Maybe I just didn't make them. I think it's just going to be these that are causing the problem. They're done. Wait. Hold on. I thought that I made the right amount. How have I ended up doing this? The entire inside ring is pretty much wrong. Great. Going. Energy inputs. That. There we go. That should be the out ring done. Yep. Okay. Let's replace these back again. Now, will we multi-block this time. Doesn't look like it has. Invalid structure. Okay. What have I done? Let's pull this back out. Multi-block structure. LUV machine cases. Yeah, so they are fully just LUV machine cases, fluid input hatches. Yes. Wait. What's it asking for? LUV machine casings. Oh no. I've made machine holes. It wants casings. Oh dear. That's a yikes from me. Ouch. Oh, I didn't actually show you one of the other things that I've done. We have wireless crafting. LUV casings. I think it's lumium, is it? Yeah, it's lumium. Oh, okay. Is it all gonna need replacing? I think I need to make 7. That's an expensive mistake. That is an expensive mistake. Okay, we'll get over it. Machine hole. Okay, I think just trying to figure it out because I'm pretty much certain I don't have enough lumium. What was it? It's going to be 79 machine casing, so 640 lumium roughly. Lumium. I think if I've done the math right in my head, that's the amount that I need. I can make it, that's not a problem. Lumium plates. I'll get that up and running now. See where we're at by the time I've torn this down. Oh dear. What was it that I was saying about let's make sure that we get the actual machine done right? Yeah, well played. I don't know how I've managed to do that because I completed the quest in order to do this. Unless I can't remember because I did the kind of crafting for this over a couple of days. The only thing that I can kind of put this down to is that I made them and then, I don't know, decided to craft them afterwards. Doesn't really make sense, but I guess we've got some LUV stuff if we ever need them. That's pretty much it. One more, isn't there? Should be one more. It's there. Go. Let's see what we're kind of at. Lumium. Yeah, it's going to take its time. Okay, so okay, do you know what? Let's take a quick cut here. And we'll come back once we've got all of our machine casings. Okay, so we've got the final few of the machine casings coming in now. Took the best part of, I want to say, 20 minutes, half an hour, so definitely a good decision to cut when I did, that's for sure. 2 more to go. I suppose if it comes down to it, we can make a fair few decent LUV machinery if we need to. Yeah. That was an expensive mistake. Trying to remember. I think it went like this. Go. It doesn't multi-block this time. I have no idea whatsoever. While I was kind of waiting on the Lumion processing, I did get a couple of things done. So I added efficiency 5 and holding 4 onto my flux bore, so we now have more power. I also added holding 4 onto these two as well, so we've got a bit extra kind of power storage going there. Figured might as well while we can do. That's that side. Go. Is that everything? Inside as well. And place on the top. Hey, what's happened here? Did I not make enough? Wait a second. I didn't get it. Okay, yeah, sorry, I must have just grabbed the 1 stack. Really confused me for a second. There you go, one more. Please, multi-block. Thank you. Okay, so that's fine. That took a lot more effort than it needed to. Hey. Anyway, let's that's the multi-block done. All absolutely fine. So we've got the Mark 1 fusion reactor. Like I say, let's do a little bit of testing on this then. So that's output hatches. We need to grab, let's go and grab some hydrogen from here. There we go. Jump back down. So if I am thinking correct, what I should be able to do is this into there, then it's 3 times as much hydrogen, right? Yeah, so we need to make sure we get about, what, about 50,000, 50 odd thousand into it. So if we go like that there and that there, that should cover the hydrogen and neodymium cost. Let that filter back into the system. Now, what it should, we're missing the EU, that's fine. So let's jump over here. I wonder if this will be able to, this was kind of my plan anyway. LUV, LUV, ZPM, LUVCF, that'll be fine there. And 4 of those in. Jump over here, make it into a cable. There Okay, so if I went, these are both input hatches. Put the LUVCF facing up. Then we have the CEU with that in there. Let me grab a conduit. Sure, we'll get a draconian one, why not? Right, well this now, there we go. It is, that's working fine, right? Okay, so yeah, that's running absolutely fine. Now, if I take that away, will this keep running? Fluid inputs, that's fine. Is there actually any energy outputs to this? So there's no actual energy outputs to this, so it makes me think it doesn't actually produce any power, which, okay, not exactly what I was expecting, but where's it putting the output fluid? It should be making europium. Hey, that's what we was hoping for. Is it coming into just that one? So I guess it doesn't produce any power at all then. So essentially this is energy start. Needs a base amount to actually start the process off, and then it takes that to actually use the fuel, I'm guessing, to produce whatever it is producing. Okay, that's an interesting concept. Not exactly what I was expecting, if I'm honest, but does kind of make sense, the fact that there's no actual energy output. So yeah, that's absolutely fine. That's running through. We're using the ZPM to power it, but everything else is fine. Running absolutely perfect. And we're producing europium. So if we come across here, europium ingot to complete the quest. Let's what is it? 288, 5, 6, 5, 7. Sure, we'll take that for now. I'll come and grab the rest when it comes down to it. In theory, we should be getting a decent amount of it, so we should be getting what? Pretty much 2 stacks of europium. So that'll all get processed through fine. Ingots, mold, cast, I don't know. Where have I got my fluid solidifier? One of those. Possibly fluid extractor. That's solidifier. Is it over here? No. Where's my ingot one? I swear I had an ingot. Mold. Huh. Apparently not. Okay. Interesting. Can we make a europium block? Let's have a look. Europium. Helps if I can spell. Can get a europium block from a fluid solidifier. Okay. let's grab that just for now. This one here, right? Yeah. That should be enough, I think. Block. Temporarily, we'll grab this guy here. Europium. Block. Thank you. Grab the rest. Europium. Hey, there we go. Quest. Hey, Europium. So that in itself is taking us kind of down the this route here. So Europium plates is something that we need. Fusion casings, not a problem. Shame it's needing the casings and not the holes, eh? Oh dear, so many of those things wasted. Oh well, we'll get over it eventually. We'll get over it eventually. Hey. One thing that I do want to do, LUV. Get 4 of these. What are we missing? So we're missing 16 Europium plates. That's absolutely fine. It's one of these. It's this one. What's happening here? Wait, no, it's this one. So, how much is it for a block again? Europium. 12.96. About halfway done. Not going to realistically take too long, to be fair. I'm going to get that process all the way through using the ZPM in itself. As soon as we can get this thing full, get a couple of LUV batteries into here as well. That's kind of the main point that I'm going straight for, that so that we can get this put into here. Stop kind of relying on just moving this thing around, which this in itself, I will say, massive kind of boost across. If you are kind of struggling and you've managed to find one of these, that's an absolute godsend. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm going to call the episode here. We've got the fusion reactor all up and running. I say reactor, we've got nuclear fusion up and running. Doesn't bring any power to it, which I thought it would do. The kind of GUI in itself, it does make a lot more sense when I look at it now. The fact that there's no output hatches, there's no energy output hatches in it. Yeah, I've got no qualms on that side. It looks like we'll be using the fusion machine casings next for the tier 2 version. And yeah, once everything's all sorted, pretty much there now, to be fair, we'll come back. I think in terms of questing wise, let's claim all of the rewards, get all of those done, get out of the way. I'm tempted to make one of these off camera and get rid of a few extra bits here and there. Now that we've got access to the kind of fusion itself, so there's a few things that we can do with it, which I did kind of look into a little bit during the Lumion break. So things like where is it? No, not that one. Hydrogen, no. There was one. Neutronium, sure. Americium and Naquadria, which we can get, right? we got in the Quadria? Not quite. But yeah, there's a few things that we can definitely get moving now. We've got this. In terms of the actual fusion reactor, so one of the things that you'll kind of look into this guy and see, you get kind of plasmas from this. Now the plasmas can be used for power generation, which is something that I'm definitely going to have a look into, see if it's worth kind of running one of these to get power. I don't know. There's a few kind of interesting ones. So you can get Einsteinium instead of having to go through the microverses. You can just get Californium and Berkelium. Cost power, but you can get Einsteinium that way, and you get 16 for every 144. So it's not exactly massive in terms of the amount that you get, but I don't know, that's a few different things. Iridium we can get this way as well. That's Naquadria, so enriched Naguta, that's fine. Silver and lithium, some indium as well, so that's another way of getting indium if we ever needed it. Tritium, this should be an easy way of getting, there we go, an easy way of getting a lot of radon if we ever need to. Tritanium, Uranium, some extra chrome, sure. Helium and uranium, plutonium, sure. Aluminium and gold, uranium, okay. Magnesium, uranium again. Some iron, don't see that one being needed. Osmium, that could be a nice one. Helium and tungsten, not exactly massive. And yeah, pretty happy with how it's all gone so far. I'm going to have a look through a few different things, see what's kind of worth it, see what's not. But yeah, I'm going to call it there. Got the fusion reactor all up and running. In terms of the kind of space underneath, so we've got space if we ever do need to kind of get anything running. The plan, as I say, is to kind of drop it down, have 3 stacked on top of each other, which looks like it shouldn't have any problems at all. And yeah, gonna call it there. If you did enjoy the episode and you're going to be sticking around for the series, do hit that subscribe button to stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.